The Halo universe is filled with wonder, mystery, and fascinating discoveries around every corner. With so much to explore, four friends decided it was about time that they booted up their consoles and discussed this universe that has grabbed their attention since childhood. JumperScape Audio kindly welcomes you to join them in the library.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the library. Was that good? Was that good?
Yeah, it was good.
The show where we talk about Halo lore, and this week we are going right back to Halo 3, getting down to the nitty-gritty, things we missed, things that we wish we talked about, because we have a tendency to not talk about things that we mean to talk about.
Hey, who are you and where's Austin?
He's in a different state.
Oh,
He sounds like Xbox 360 today, so I'm playing host today. It's me. It's James. Austin, say hi. He's still here.
okay. He's
Hey, how you doing? It's me, Austin. Welcome back to the library.
he's in the walls today.
Oh yeah, he's in the walls. We have another person in the walls.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. Magpie, hello, are you there?
Magpie. Oh,
Hello.
Tell me everything about your entire life.
I was born on July 2nd, 2003.
Okay, fast forward a little bit.
I'm the shop guy. I'm not the shop guy. I hate being called the shop guy. I make Halo content occasionally. It varies. Really depends on how I'm feeling.
Awesome.
He's doing a lot of machinima every now and then right now. It's actually really entertaining.
Thanks, Austin.
yeah.
I do have a question for you right off rip.
Okay.
Is it hard to make a This Week in Halo episode every week?
Yeah. I mean,
I had to know.
We kind of
I
run
don't
into
know
the
if you
same
noticed,
problem.
but I kind of just changed the title back to the regular shop video titles last week because I didn't have a machinima that was like planned because it's been like a busy month. And
Yeah.
I feel like a big part of the whole This Week in Halo thing was doing the opening machinima and having the machinima segments for Spawn of the Week Community Spotlight. That was what really made it sort of stand out as opposed to just being a shop video. But I really can't keep up with doing different machinima that feels unique and not just rushed every week. I've kept the Community Spotlight, kept the Spawn of the Week, but it's kind of just gone back to being news slop. Truth be told.
It's like that.
Yeah. I would say I don't envy that, but we also do that. So we do our own version of it. So I know the struggle. Well, Austin, you're the one with all the topics locked up. What are we talking about first?
That's a real. I'm really glad you asked that. Hey, give me a second. McDonald's didn't give me my iced coffee. I'm gonna go get it real quick.
Okay, well, he's getting an iced coffee. I hope we get to hear the patented McDonald's beeping timers going off. Because it was happening before we started recording, and I'm very sad it's not happening now.
I remember today's topic.
Yeah, well, I know today's topic, but Austin likes having all the little things. I know we're talking some Halo 3. Specifically, we're talking about the co-op elites that you play as in 4-player co-op. We're talking about all kinds of stuff. Look how good I am. Look how good I am at hosting the library.
We get to talk about all the different Easter eggs and different level sets and designs in the game and which levels were our favorite.
Oh, well, the Prophet of Truth's full story and 343 Guilty Spark story. And I'm just reading the memos at this point. This man is fighting for his iced coffee. How you doing, Magpie?
I'm here.
You're here.
Yeah, I'm awake.
Well, tell me, what are some of your best memories relating to Halo 3?
Halo 3. I feel it because I was 4 when Halo 3 came out. So I did still play it, but I was still a bit of a fetus at the time. So I think a lot of my memories of the game kind of sort of blur between which was original Halo 3 and which was Master Chief Collection Halo 3. I remember playing the multiplayer as a kid. Do not remember what rank I was. Just remember not being very good at it. I definitely didn't have recon.
It's
That's
okay.
for
I'm
sure.
still not very good at it.
But I mean, I've always been more of like a campaign person as opposed to a multiplayer person. I built a whole YouTube thing on Halo, and truth be told, I don't like first-person shooters other than Halo. I should clarify.
I'm starting to
But-
understand your position. These days, first-person shooters are just kind of stressful and annoying.
I'm like,
it's like,
I'm sorry. I was gonna say I'm on the verge of giving up on first-person shooters.
yeah, like outside of Halo, the only other one that I currently play is Overwatch, and that's not because I like Overwatch. It's because my partner is obsessed with it, and my friends really enjoy it. So it's like, I don't want to be left out, so I guess I'll play Overwatch.
I have a couple friends that all they do is play Overwatch, and they are always like, "Come play Overwatch with us." I was like, "Can we play something else?" And they're like, "No," and I'm like, and I still don't play Overwatch with them, but you know, I get the pain. I get the pain. I used to love Overwatch actually, but I've just fallen out of love with it.
I honestly can't believe people still play it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel
Nothing
like
against it.
Overwatch 2 gave it a big gave it a decent bump. Gave it another few years of like being populated, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It still has a decently popular esports around it. I don't think it's quite at the heights that it used to be, like the whole like league, but it's still very popular. I mean, if Counter-Strike can be as popular as it's been for this long, like in Dota, like in League,
Let's not forget Team Fortress 2.
but there's not a big esports scene for Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, but it still exists.
Yeah.
It honestly, in my opinion, it beat Overwatch twice. In longevity.
Hey guys.
Oh, he's back. Did you get your
Hey.
iced coffee?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, we were talking about Halo 3 and somehow we talked about Overwatch.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I heard that in the distance.
I was asking
So-
what my Halo 3 memories are and stuff. You took about Overwatch 2 for some reason.
You know, sometimes it's just like that.
Yeah, we like to have fun here. I'm having fun here.
I'm having a blast.
It's probably the most I've
Because-
talked in the library in the last month.
Yeah, same here.
Oh,
We keep having all these
you can't see my
guests.
face. I'm so far away from you.
Yeah, you sound far away. Can you move the microphone a little closer?
It is right in front of my face. What are you talking about?
Can you hold it like one of those little baby microphones that like all the like Gen Z TikTok like interview people use
Dude,
on the
I am
street?
doing that right now in the middle of the McDonald's.
Okay, well now you sound a little better.
Maybe try going into
Oh my
a
God.
bathroom stall for sound dampening. I don't know.
Sorry, we're just gonna pick fun at you the entire time.
It's fine. I should have brought. I'm sure that it's just an input issue, and then I'm actually recording it onto the local system. It's not actually coming through on here. I don't know. I'm just holding with it.
Yeah, we're doing.
But
just
anyway,
fine.
Halo 3, baby.
Yeah.
Did you guys know? Did you know
That Halo 3.
that Halo 3 has the two co-op characters that aren't Master Chief and Arbiter are
They have
actually
a story.
like canon?
Yeah, I did know that. Well, yeah, I mean they're there.
No, it's not just that. They have like a whole book.
Yeah. It's called what's it called? Oh, let me get it.
Come on, bro.
Let me
Come
get
on.
it. Hunters in the Dark.
It's Hunters in the Dark. Good job.
I did it.
But can you tell me their names?
No, I forget.
Wow, this guy really doesn't know about Unthos, Roam, and Uzatahan.
Those are awesome names.
I mean, there's also other elite characters in the book, such as Ilta Bemet, Kola Baoth, Otar Bemet, Artas Vadum. Hey, we know that guy. Sahar, Belvadam. Hey, look, we know that guy. Toha Sumai, Zabo Enyame, or whatever, and Zan Vadum. Hey, another. Oh, that's not Vadam. Never mind.
Hey, this is so timely because we have the Anvil thing happening, right? Operation Anvil.
Are we really going to talk about that?
No.
New Halo, that's my birthday.
Unless Mag, unless
Oh,
you got
wait.
something about
Hold
Anvil
on.
that we would
I
like to
forgot.
talk about.
It's your birthday. It's not actually right now. Your birthday's tomorrow, but this
No, my
episode comes out
birthday's
tomorrow.
for UK time. Yeah, Anvil. New cosmetics, I guess. So it's funny because the armor itself is all banished armor, but it's supposed to be like Anvil Station stuff, which would be obviously like UNSC, Source, and Helios. But it's banished armor because that makes sense, I guess.
And
Yeah, I
very
was confused
clearly
about
looks
that.
like
I'm like,
banished armor.
wait, the quote is from the Flood, but the armor is from the Banished, but
Yeah.
the station is the Sangheili.
Yeah. Well, funnily enough too, so the event that's happening obviously was not supposed to be Anvil. When they released the blog post, it was just before Banished Honor, they released a customization blog post. And it's like, yeah, the next operation is Tenrai 4, followed by Spartan Surplus on July 2nd. Now, Spartan Surplus has vanished without a trace. They have just changed it without announcing that it's been changed, and now it's Anvil, and now we've got more Banished Armor, but for an event that really shouldn't be Banished Armor. And they've not mentioned anything about Spartan Surplus or like what's happened to it or where those 3 pieces of Mark 4 armor are gonna go. So it's weird. It's bizarre.
They really just do stuff, don't they?
Because
They
I
really
guarantee no one would have given a shit if they just stuck to what they were gonna do.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Like, it's just weird.
Because it's elite themed armor, it's obviously led to like, why don't they just add playable elites? And it's like, well, it's a lot easier to make new armor than it is to add playable elites. Unfortunately, just how game development works.
Honestly,
Man,
playable elites would have gone hard
everything
on this
comes
update
back
because,
to-
dude, the elites in Infinite are just so freaking good.
Yeah, I would love like actual customizable infinite elites, but it's like at the same time, I kind of get why that isn't in this update at least. Like at launch, definitely should have been a thing, but I get, given current state of the game and everything that's going on at 343, I get it. Like I'm not gonna sit there and be mad over it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of like just at this point, not expecting it for this game.
Hey, speaking of playable elites, Halo 3 had playable elites, but that's the thing. Is Halo 3's playable elites the best playable elites? You know, the ones with the holes in the neck that you can shoot straight through?
Isn't that just with a specific helmet?
I think it's
wrong.
just with
Like
Commando, the Commando helmet maybe.
It's the meta helmet.
Something like that. But it is an unfortunate part of the playing with elites in Halo 3 is that there's a stigma because of that one exploit. Even when you aren't using that armor, people like just don't know that it's only that armor.
yeah.
And you know, I would say it's probably the best because it has the most armor customization options. But at the same time, this is weird. This is probably a weird take. I don't like the design of the elites in Halo 3.
That is weird.
I mean, I think that's like a lukewarm take at best.
Yeah, it that's fair. For me, they look too puppy dog.
For those who don't know, like me, what is this exploit you speak of?
There's this one helmet in Halo 3 for an elite where there's literally it's literally a pixel. There's literally a missing pixel on like the hitbox that you can shoot a bullet through and not do any damage, and it's on the neck.
Is it that bad?
It's I would be so shocked if anyone ever actually noticed it
I would have thought I would have just
in like real time.
yeah, I would have just.
I mean, there actually has been one clip that was taken. I know of one clip. There might be more, but one clip where a guy was supposed to get a kill, but he didn't get the kill because the bullet went through the elite's neck instead.
And you know how many more times that Halo 3's wonky netcode probably took you out of just as many kills?
Blood shots, baby.
Probably way more. That's why I'm like, it's kind of an overblown like exploit in my opinion. But that's
It's
just
funny to me. That's the thing. I just think it's funny.
Exactly. Like, elites weren't allowed in competitive play anyway. So like, what's the big deal?
Who caught on?
James, do you ever feel discriminated against for your elite's preferred species?
Yes, but also it makes sense. I can't lie. It makes sense.
Yeah.
You'd want this in actual competitive, like, and here's the thing. Like, when I say competitive, I do mean like professional. I think it's a little dumb for like just ranked play, but you want everyone to have like the same silhouette essentially.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I personally, this I think is a hot take. Even though you can barely ever use them in the modes that are allowed, Halo Reach is my favorite playing as elites in Halo.
Is that a hot take?
That's a lukewarm take at best.
I think it's a hot take because, you know, some people would argue it's like, well, you can only use them in like 2 modes. But the thing is, when you do get to use them, it just feels really good. And
those modes are usually like the best in Reach. Invasion is wild.
Exactly.
I would love
It goes underappreciated. Okay, fine. Maybe there isn't a hot take out here.
I'm trying to be different.
Hot take would be like,
one.
I never want Halo to have playable elites ever again. That's a hot take.
That's weirdly common these days. I see that a lot.
I am not a fan of the fact that that's getting common. I don't like that at all.
It doesn't make sense.
Hey, yo, when we getting some playable brutes?
Oh, playable
Connor,
brutes.
please.
Did anyone ever play like Gears of War Judgment? I know it's like the bad one.
That's the only.
Yeah, I played Judgment. I played through the whole thing.
I haven't played Judgment yet, and I've not played the new ones.
It had that mode called Overrun, which was like a mix of like Beast mode and Horde. So like one team played as obviously the humans, and the other team played as the Locusts, but you could play as like all the different monsters and stuff. I would love something like that for Halo, where like you've got a team playing as Spartans, they're the defensive side, they can set up like sentries, they have vehicles and all that sort of stuff. And then you've got the other side who can play as grunts, jackals, brutes, elites, hunters, and they have their own sets of weaponry and vehicles and all that sort of stuff. Like, but on the scale of something like Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah, I was going to say, me and James have talked about that, actually. We've talked about because we play Battlefront 2 still to this day, and we've talked about it multiple times where it's like, why don't we just have, like, Halo Front, which is a mod available on the classic Battlefront 2 for 2005 or whatever. You can get that. However, it's an old mod. So, you know, it's an old game mod anyway. It's a new mod, but it's an old game. New concept, like a Halo Battlefront, sounds awesome. I would take that instantly. That would be super fun. I kind of thought about it as an extension off of Halo Wars. Like if it was Halo Wars 3, you have something like a commander mode from Battlefield 4, and then you can play all the different kinds of units, all the vehicles, all that. Like I don't know, it's the franchise is set for another wave of innovation. It just hasn't hit yet.
I honestly think part of that problem is mixed messaging from the community. Now I'm ready for a hot take. And on one hand, you're getting, please just make Halo 3 but modern, and then on the other hand, it's like, please innovate, please. Like, it's two opposite requests being made on a daily basis by each half of the fan base.
It just seems like something that you should be able to combine, right? Like you can make a classic Halo game that feels like Halo but still innovate. It was being done for years.
I think I'm just ready to see the Halo universe be used in much more unique ways.
Me too. I just don't want them to break what Halo feels like. If at any point I'm playing it, because there is, I don't know, it's just there's so many franchises that have been around for so much longer and they've experimented more, and so it just doesn't make any sense to me to think that these two things can't be combined to some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like mainline Halo titles can like keep that formula, but I mean, like, I still think you can do some kind of spin-off as a first-person shooter, but with maybe a different feel, a different gameplay loop than you're used to.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can agree with that.
I think having some missions is like just like 1 to 2, 3 mission like short campaigns of just side characters, just something to enjoy for the community.
Yeah, like when I think of what like my dream Halo game would be, like you said, like Battlefront 2, but Halo. It basically, like, if you were gonna make a Contact Harvest game,
don't say those words. That makes me. I want it.
Have the campaign be from a Marine perspective, but have the multiplayer be a like kind of massive battle simulator, kind of like in the vein of a Battlefield or a Battlefront.
Hey Mag, when do you plan on joining 343 so you can pitch these ideas?
It's kind of hard because I live in the UK.
Oh, come on. Listen, come on. Alex Wakeford is out here. Where is he? He's not in America. I know that.
I didn't say it was impossible. I just said it was hard.
Well, okay. I actually, real quick, this is completely off topic, but you and I don't really get a whole lot of time to chat, which makes sense. I'm busy, you're busy, and as much as I really love your community, sometimes I'm looking in there, I'm like, huh, you guys are really fun. You guys are really fun. It's just I don't step in very frequently because you guys have your own thing going on, and it's so much more fun to watch than to interact. If that makes sense, sometimes.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. I actively try to avoid interactions.
Yeah. So
I
I'm curious because again, haven't had a lot of time to chat with you on this, or even Jordan actually. How did you guys meet up? Because it seemed like it just sort of it was a strange matchup that you guys work together rather frequently, and like Jordan shows up in your videos as doing the machinima thing. His most recent one that he did was hilarious. It's like, Jordan, look at your calendar. It's really funny.
So, okay. I first saw his content because my dad sent me one of his machinimas on like Facebook, and he was like, and my dad was like, "Yeah, this is funny." So like, I watched the video, and I can't remember which one it was. But this was like early Infinite, like it would have been season one. So like that's how I found out about Halo Box Studios, and then like I think I followed him from there, and then he entered in one of the Spartan rating video things that I did, and then
Nice.
sometime after that, it was either a little bit before that or sometime after that I messaged him for the first time, and we did a Christmas machinima for my channel. It was really bad. Like I cannot stress this enough. It was awful. I don't know if it's still up on the channel. It might be. I feel like I probably should have privated it. It was terrible, and this is by no means Jordan's fault. I think it was like the first machinima I would have recorded, so still using theater mode, instead of machinima mode, and my voice acting was awful. And there was a
Oh
few
no.
other things that just weren't good. Because like I was supposed to play like Santa in the video, and I think my voice was something like this, and I was like, oh, 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 and it was terrible. And I think I used a
Oh
filter
my
to try
God,
and like
was
pitch
Santa
it
here
down
just
and make
now?
it sound worse. Oh, it was terrible. But yeah, and then we just kind of carried on talking from there.
That's awesome. And also, I really want to apologize for your 8,000 subscriber thing, the machinima that happened in the middle of the tournament.
God,
Uh,
I was so mad.
it was not my idea entirely. I just want to make that clear.
At that point, we were already like almost like an hour in or something like that, and I was just thinking like, please, I want this to end as quickly as possible so I can go to bed.
Nope, nope. You got to watch everybody drop all of their DMRs at the same time. Stand there in the middle, not do anything.
The funniest part was the effect that it then caused on another match. That it was either the next match or it was like two matches later, where another group of players were attempting to do the same thing, but only like half of their group agreed to it. So the other half started shooting each other, which led to some of the players asking for me to restart the match because of like someone cheating or something like that. And I was like, I'm not ending the game because because some of you decided you wanted to have a truce and some of you didn't. That is all on you. That is not on me.
Listen, there are two conclusions that can be made here. One, me and Jordan are fantastic diplomats.
No,
Two, that's not our fault.
exactly. Um, but it was
Which,
it was insane. It was insane. It was
speaking
fun.
of your sub count, by the way, congratulations! You're coming up on 9,000 already.
Almost.
Wow.
Yeah, we're like
Almost. Are you doing anything? Are you doing anything fun for that one? Another tournament? What are you planning?
9,000 won't have anything specific, but that's when I
Yeah.
sort of like
Pool party at your
start
place?
preparing the 10K stuff because that's probably going to be really big. So the plan for that is I'm going back to doing the Spartan rating things as opposed to the streams. So I know
Okay.
damn well when I get to 10K, there's going to be a lot of submissions,
Oh yeah,
and I'll go through all
definitely.
of them. Like all of them will be in the video, but I want to have like a load of machinima segments, like sort of interwoven between it, and that'll like tell a story as the video goes on. To try and I guess encourage people to sort of sit through the whole thing instead of just skipping straight to the road.
Yeah.
I mean, there'll be timestamps so people can just skip to whenever they want to watch anyway. But yeah, the plan is to have like an interconnected like story throughout the whole video. So I want to start getting that prepared as soon as I hit 9K. I mean, I might do like a small thing. I'm not entirely sure yet. All things, like to be honest, but
Got
But
you.
yeah,
Okay, well that's super exciting. I mean, I talked about this last week, I think, and I want to rebound back to it. James, do I still sound like garbage?
Slightly.
You've gotten a little better throughout the
Cool. All right.
episode.
That's just all I needed to know. So last week I talked about how there are so many different ways to get your hands on credits, to get your hands on things, to get involved with the community, all of that.
Back
I
up.
was-
Back up.
what?
Your voice just like escalated for a minute there. It
Just
was
went from,
kind of
like,
scary.
You just went from like a
Really, really
6 to like an
loud.
11.
Okay, am I good?
Yeah, just
now
keep
you're
it
good.
talking. You're fine. We'll deal with
Okay,
it.
okay. So yeah, and last week I talked about how there's lots of ways to get credits, lots of ways to get involved with the community, all that stuff. And to be honest, a biased reason as to why Mag is here is because I have not seen a better creator when it comes to the involvement of the community and getting people excited to interact with not with the creator for the sake of the creating, but more the creator for the sake of the community. I think Magpie, you've grown probably one of the more impressive small Halo communities built around simply wanting to have fun, wanting to create together. I think it's just utterly impressive. Um, what I've seen from your stuff, and there might be more, so you can add on to it if you want. But I've seen things like code giveaways that are more like weapon coatings, armor itself, stuff like that, credits outright. You have the armor competitions where you can, if your armor looks dope or if it looks stupid, sometimes you have the worst armor competitions.
Yeah.
There were some really interesting, unique ways that you've gotten focused in on the community to get people excited, which honestly, I don't know if it was your intention, but your timing could not have been better because I think without creators such as yourself, Halo, especially right now, would be in kind of a dark spot for the community because there's a lot of people that are still waiting for that little beat, so that little heartbeat that says that it's still working. And your sort of content is the sort of thing that I think, don't know if it was the intention, but it's certainly doing a lot to keep things moving. I don't know what you're seeing on your end since you're the guy working on it, but I don't know what you got anything that you planned for, or was this just stuff that just fell into your lap?
I think originally it sort of stemmed from like I obviously because a lot of that was incorporated into shop videos and stuff first, and I think that stemmed from like, okay, I could carry on just making these shop videos, or I could try and do stuff that makes them a bit more unique and a bit more engaged with the community. So that's why I started doing like the Spawn of the Week thing, which obviously, I mean, you've already mentioned it, but like every week we have a different theme. Sometimes you can submit whatever you want. Sometimes, this week, um, because the shop video is tomorrow, so it's my birthday. I was like, okay, give me like your best birthday party themed spawns. Um, we have all like sort of random stuff. Sometimes I get special guests to host it. Like we had Halo Box hosted the other week, and he did frog themed Spartans. And it lets people sort of just build the stuff they want in the game, and then we pick out the best ones and sort of feature them on the video. Because it's a cool way to sort of engage with the community. It's like a fun thing, and it makes use of like infinite customization, which I enjoy talking about armor. So it's something that I always find fun anyway. So it was just, I mean, like you already said, it just sort of, I guess, stemmed from one, wanting to sort of find more ways to interact with the community, and two, wanting the news videos to not just be news videos and to actually be something that people care about and want to watch, not just for the latest Halo news.
Well, it works. Being real, you're the only news channel that I actually watch when it comes to Halo, and there's plenty of, like you said, there's others that exist, but your special flavor to it makes it, I think, much more engaging. Hence, why you're the only one that I watch.
Thank you.
You somehow make Spartan points sound exciting.
I try.
But I'll bring it back around. And I'm sure that James and Connor are tired of just sitting there.
I'm listening.
I am listening.
So a little secret I have to share with you, James. Okay.
With me?
Yeah, with you. I've been secretly training Connor.
What?
I've been teaching him the ways of Halo's lore.
Okay.
Connor, would you like to tell them who Ord Casto is?
Oh, that's one of the sons of one of the brutes, right?
No.
I know I'm close.
No, you're not.
Who
Good
was he
job.
That was a while ago.
I tried.
That was like a month ago.
Well, Connor, you're right. It is the Prophet of Truth, the real name of Prophet of Truth.
Hey there, Halo fans. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with our friends right after these messages.
If you would have hit me with the Ilsa Zane one, I'd have been more suited for that one.
Oh, is that why Connor reacted to Ilsa Zane the other day when her name was brought up? He was like, "Oh," and I'm like, I wanted to just be like, "You don't know who that is,"
but I do.
I mean, are we actually? I'm sort of excited about the concept of Ilsa Zane, but then again, I'm also a little bit worried about all of these open stories they're creating and how they're going to close them.
Yeah, like there's a lot of cool stuff.
Or
that I
if.
think like sounds really cool in concept, but I really want to experience some of that in the games, and I feel like that's potentially never going to happen for a lot of them. It's like, okay, now we've got Flood Spartans that have 100% been established. We've got Banished Spartans that have 100% been established. Will we see either of these in the next game, or is it just multiplayer cosmetics?
Nope.
Nah.
It's just gonna be cosmetics, and here's okay. Actually, straight up, Mag, I actually really do want your opinion on this. I've been thinking about this all day. Not gonna lie, and whenever I say this sort of stuff, I really do think about Halo pretty much my entire day, every day. It's just the thing. Since I have to talk about it every week, I have to keep myself updated. But I was thinking about this, and do you think that there's actually a problem with wanting to create a live service that is built around, new cosmetics, new armor, new emblems, new all of that? When this entire time Halo has been about, and I mean the entire time since Combat Evolved, Halo has been about finding your identity and how you look, and then sticking with that identity to the absolute. Like Halo Reach let you jump to whatever armor you wanted. Halo 4 allowed you to just go and get whatever armor you were looking for over the course of time with leveling. Halo 5, rough, but you were still able to at least figure out what you wanted ahead of time and then eventually maybe get it in a loot box, basically. But now Halo Infinite, it's as if they expect you to consistently and always change your style, always want to change it, always put on something new, when it actually might be financially a bad idea to slip in this live service concept into something that has been built around the consistency of what your identity is. You just know what you're going to look like. Do you think that that's something was a mistake from the out from the get-go, or is something that was actually a smart move for their customization?
I think it's very dependent on who you ask, because I've always liked just sort of customizing constantly. Like in any game, I will constantly update the way that my Spartan looks. Like
Yeah.
1 minute I'll be like, "Yep, this is the pinnacle. This is the best thing I've ever created," and then I'll log on the next day and I'll be like, "I look a bit better with this different set of shoulders." So I'm not like opposed to constantly receiving like new armor and stuff. I think the problem is obviously how much of it is locked behind a paywall, so a lot of people can't make the Spartan that they want to make straight away. Either without spending money. But I do think Infinite still does like a semi-decent job with its free offerings too, especially now with the exchange. Like that's only going to grow even more with time. But it's like, I don't know, I think as someone that likes constantly customizing, and it helps with like machinimas and stuff too for creating different characters, having so many different pieces of armor to choose from definitely sort of helps with that. But
Yeah.
my issue, I think, more than anything, stems from what feels like it's just completely focused on cosmetics. To
Yeah.
an insane degree where it's like, okay, is there realistically going to be this many pieces of Spartan armor in universe across every different entry when you look at like Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 3 Mjolnir? Like, okay, this is starting to get a little ridiculous.
We're gonna need
it's
some
like,
new
okay, some of the
generations.
stuff non-canon, but there's just so much armor now. There is so much.
Yeah, and it's not helping the fact that you can't do stuff like play as different species that would probably have their own level of customization. But this is actually I'm gonna loop you into this, James, because your situation is very applicable to this sort of thing. I would say that James and I probably match in the idea that you find the armor that is you, and then you stick with that. That's what you are. And past games have been fairly consistent in the way that, especially I would say like Halo 3, Halo Reach, those games allowed you to figure out what you're going to be and then stick with it. But poor James here hasn't even been able to have his poor coding Me too, but him longer. Hasn't been able to find something that was satisfying until Tenrai 4
Yeah,
dropped.
well, I've
Yep.
always used like almost always used like black and green as like my go-to colors in almost every game. The only one where I don't think I do is Halo 3 because I don't really like the shades of green, so instead it's grey and blue.
Yeah.
But the only way to get black and green at launch for Infinite was to get the Deathly Poison coating, which was the Razer headset one. I'm not spending like 100 British pounds on a headset just to get my colors in a game.
Are you serious?
What?
Yeah.
What's the
Someone sent me the code for free, so I didn't have to worry about that anymore.
Okay,
then-
honestly, shout out to the people who enjoy our content. Just our, as in like me, Mag here, straight up, same thing over here. I like to be white and black, primary white, secondary black, and the only way to get white and black is Void, whatever it's called, Void something.
2,000 credit
And
bundle,
it's-
which was released as a super bundle too.
Yeah, and so you had to pay $20 to get it. And thankfully, again, like you, again, well, not nearly as serious as yours. Whoever got that for you, they're awesome. But
Well, they got
one
to
of
keep the
our listeners
headset,
got
so
that
you
one for me.
know.
Yeah. That's insane, isn't it? Like these things that have been so, like, especially colors. Like, okay, again, going around, and I'm just having fun by this point. I'm just having fun. I'm in the middle of a McDonald's, guys. You got to let me breathe here. I'm thinking about this, and it's like with colors. Halo is built around, at the very least, being able to customize your colors. It's never been something that was restricted from you. So what I was thinking this entire time, ever since Infinite even talked about coatings, I was thinking how much more interesting it would be if it was something like, I don't know if you've played Warframe at all, but Warframe has a color customization system where you can buy palettes of color, and then that whole palette is available for you to customize with. But there's multiple palettes with many different kinds of colors, as well as textures, where you can use textures to texturize your armor, the attachments, all of that stuff. And it's like, I'm not one to copy. I don't think copying is the right call for anything, but just innovation, inspiration, finding things that's like, even when someone's doing something perfect, you find what they did wrong and then do it better than they did. And I don't know if Infinite's, especially with colors, I don't know if they did that. You know what I mean?
I've always thought it'd be cool if they had like a creator coating type thing, where it's like by default you can create like a basic coating of your own choice. There'd be 2 colors from a very limited color selection, and this would have like just like really basic like texturing and stuff too. So that way the coatings would still stand out because they'd provide players with different patterns, different materials that the armor's made out of. Like they would all look unique, but players still have the option to choose their own colors. Because I think, I mean, you've already mentioned it a lot, like, you know, sort of about finding your identity in the game. Choosing your own colours has always been a big part of that, which I do think coatings massively limits. Like, I don't think I dislike coatings as much now as I did when they first mentioned it, because, like, at first I was like, okay, not being able to pick your own colours is extremely stupid.
And it felt like
Now
there
I
was
don't-
like 7 of them.
Now I don't like. I feel like, if anything, I just feel a bit more like apathetic towards it. Maybe it's just like Stockholm syndrome. I've had to put up with it for this long that I just don't care. But like, I'm not entirely opposed to the coating system because I feel like there's a cool idea behind it, but I feel like the execution of that idea is really where it feels lackluster. Like, there should still be an option to choose your own colours. I mean, we still don't have, with almost 3 years in, like, you know, 2.5 years at this point, and there's still no cadet black or cadet white, and the one coating I use, the black and green one, still isn't cross-core, so I can only use that on the Mark 7 anyway.
It's just odd. I mean, I can't say, and I'm going to tie this back to Halo 3 this way. I can't say that the customization was amazing for 3. It was honestly, like, at the time, sure, it was awesome because, you know, you could actually customize your armor as opposed to 2 where you just simply couldn't. But at least there was colors. I don't think there's a lot of, and I'm wrong about this. There's plenty of conversation about how important choosing your own colors is. But even if it was something as like your idea, I really like your idea, how you described that. That was actually pretty darn awesome. But it's just not something that's happening. I don't know. There's a lot to chat about with that, but I don't know. James, where are we at on the clock?
About 40.
Sick. I can still talk about Ord Casto.
Oh yeah, sorry, I feel like I'm taking us off topic like so many times.
It's not just
This
you.
is just a show.
We do it all
This
the
is
time.
just a show.
This is how it goes.
I'm in the middle of a McDonald's.
We like to have fun here.
Yeah, while you were doing on your little monologue, we could hear the timers going off again.
Dude, listen, I'm trying my best to ignore the people in here.
No, I love it.
So, okay. Ord Casto. His name is odd, but it's fine. He's a Sanshium. However you want to say that. Mag, what do you say? Sanshium or Sanshium?
Sangshium. That's the one.
This guy over here. All right, so Ord Casto. He's a cool guy. Actually, kind of cool. You see, James, for a brief moment, he was based.
Are we talking about the Prophet of Truth?
Yes.
No, that's his name.
That's his name.
Ord Casto, yes.
Oh.
Now
What a
you
dork.
see,
Yeah,
now you see, James.
I was blown
I'm
away too.
specifically saying that he was based because you know how you and I have talked about the tragedy that was the jackals deciding to poison the Ungoi population.
Yeah.
Ord Casto was the only Sanshium, whatever you want to say, that was like, maybe this is not the best idea, bros. And so he had put through an order to, I don't know which ministry it was, but he was like, now listen, they're starting to cause a problem, and I think they're going to try to kill the Ungoi. And everyone else is like, nah, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound like the mercenaries that we hired that don't actually believe in our cause.
Bro was spitting and no one even knew it.
Yeah, and he was just like, now listen, I am going to give you one last chance, but they will start dropping and it won't be my fault. and lo and behold, he was right. They started dropping like flies. To which, when that finally happened, he was allowed to actually step in and intervene and straighten the situation out. But, shortly after that, he became power hungry, so he was only based for like a little bit.
Yeah.
He's just like me for real.
Oh God, he just like me.
Fellas, them little dudes over there, they're gonna be trouble soon. Nah.
Now listen. Now listen, Mag, I'm not trying to say anything. I am saying, though, that the power hungry characters here are British.
Exactly.
It's not just Halo, it's everything.
It must be in their genes.
Told you, he's just like me. I
Wait,
actually
Mag,
am.
do
I
you
actually-
remember that Twitter? I'm sorry, am I cutting you off? I can't hear you.
You weren't really
that
quiet.
No, it's just more like it's allowed in this building. So
He would like you to finish your thought because he kept interrupting you very, very rudely.
Oh no, I think I'd finished my thought. I was just saying, like, yeah, he's British. I actually am the prophet of truth.
But I just wanted to bring up, dude, that Twitter post where the guy was like, "The British shouldn't be allowed to play Halo" or something.
Yeah, just don't tell them that I'm British.
That was just like, I don't know where that came from. I don't know why someone commented that on the Hidden Xperia post.
I think. Oh yeah. No, sorry. I thought you were about like a completely different like the plasma posting meme that gets posted every month. That's like
Plasma posting. Yeah, what a guy.
Yeah. I remember what you're on about now. Yeah, some guy was just like, oh yeah, you tagged me in it. Oh my god.
Man, you guys used to own like half the world. Isn't that crazy?
You guys, I wasn't alive for that.
Yeah, remember 1776?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That day is coming up, all right? The day where we all are allowed to be insufferable. Even though we're insufferable every day as Americans. We're allowed to on the 4th of July.
Hold on. I got one more insufferable topic here. 26 degrees Celsius. Not that hot.
Hey, they don't have the infrastructure.
That was actually a huge. I remember that. That was a huge point of conversation in the Halo community for some reason for a bit there.
I've got to be honest. There's so much that I just tune out now.
That's fair.
Point where I click on Twitter, I scroll down for 2 minutes, and then I click off, and I'm just like, nope. I'm not.
It's a better way to live, my guy. I only use Twitter because I have to handle the JumperScape main Twitter account. But all I'm really doing there is making sure that I'm not missing the latest Mint Blitz hate.
Well, there's just something new every week. There's
almost every day by this point. We love to hate each other for some reason.
Well, speaking of Halo 3 Easter eggs, this is one of my favorites, and I believe the first mission, the little monkey family, right?
Why'd I know it was gonna be them?
Dude, it's my favorite Easter egg. That was like the first Easter egg I came across as a kid. I just want to talk about it.
Every time I play the game now, I go and visit them. Every time.
You have to.
Every time.
You have to
It's
go
required.
visit them.
Put a couple rounds into their faces.
There's two things that you have to do. There's three things. If you're a speedrunner, there's a third thing. There are two things you have to do when you play the first mission. You have to go and visit the monkey family, the Marcus Leto monkey family, and then you have to go pick up the first skull. Then, if you're a speedrunner, you have to try to skip the entirety of the first area where Johnson is running away from brutes. You have to try to grenade jump over that part.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great. Although, if we're talking favorite Easter eggs now in Halo 3, because there's a lot of them in Halo 3, like a ton in Halo 3. Honestly, I think if I'm going to say my favorite Easter egg, the one that I think of the most, I'm probably going to have to pick either. I don't know if it's really an Easter egg because it was built into the game as part of its story, but the Mendicant Bias final terminal on the last mission in Halo is pretty awesome, especially since there's that whole thing of Cortana being like, "Where are you going?" When that first happened when I was a kid, I shat bricks. But if I'm not picking that, it has to be the thing right next to that terminal on the other side of the chasm, and that's just, I think it's Jason Jones just floating there in his boxers.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Mine's the monkey family because it's the only one I can ever successfully get to.
Well, I felt that. I feel that so much.
Most of the other ones, it's just like, oh, I've seen that on a YouTube video once.
Honestly, I'm not going to lie. One of the most fulfilling things you can ever do as a Halo player is just set aside maybe like a week. Like you have a whole week of just your evening is clear and you just try your best to go and see all of those Easter eggs for yourself. It is a spiritual experience.
I probably did that on like my third playthrough of Infinite, where I was just like, yeah, I'm going to go and find all the Easter eggs.
The sandwich is probably my favorite in Infinite, I'm not going to lie. That's just great.
There's a lot of sandwich Easter eggs in Infinite.
The big one being worshipped by the grunts.
I love the one on Forbidden, on the multiplayer map where you can use the golden sandwich as a weapon.
Oh yeah, I think it was Jordan actually. I don't know if you were in that one, but Jordan invited me to a game at one point because he was trying to get it. And then I don't know how long they were there, but I solved it for them after being there for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, you just hit these buttons, and then there's a Sammy, and then he immediately killed me with it to reward me.
Amazing.
Well, do you remember? I think we were streaming one time, and we were trying to do that grenade jump for like 30 minutes, and we eventually gave up.
Oh, for the assassination?
No.
I'm thinking
Halo 3.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking of a different game then.
Yeah, in Halo 3, where there's the part where Johnson is like, "You want breakfast? You got to catch it." That part. You usually have to drop down and then do a little circle back up onto the bridge to go and chase down where Johnson's going. But if you do it quick enough and in the right way, you can do a little jump and then grenade jump onto where Johnson ran away to and watch him actively despawn. It's pretty entertaining. But aside from the what? Go ahead. You do it. You do it.
What?
I thought he was saying something.
No, sorry. That's not what I've successfully managed to do myself.
So aside from the Ordcasto and the other two elites, Uz Taham and Info Sorolum, I think, if I got that right, I'm happy. Aside from those two things, the Halo 3 is kind of interesting in the way that its story doesn't really have, aside from books that take place immediately after and immediately before, it's sort of in the same boat as Halo 2. Halo 2 has more surrounding it than Halo 3 does. So Halo 3, whatever's going on in the surrounding stuff, you kind of have to just get background story. So what happened to Artos before that whole battle? What happened during that battle? There's only one bit about that battle that I really know off the top of my head, and that's the trick that he used to beat the brute fleet that was outnumbering them 3-1, making them shoot each other because brutes are stupid. Sorry, Connor.
It's okay. It's a good thing you're not here. I'd have jumped across the table.
It's okay. Eventually, you won't even need to jump the table. Eventually, you'll be able to just leap across the studio.
One day.
Hey, speaking of the studio, did you guys pick up that package out front?
I got it.
Thanks, dude. That's really good. That's really cool of you. That'll help the place feel more studio-y.
Okay.
Got it.
Oh man,
Sick.
my brain's running
But,
out of things to say.
Yeah, aside from that, I don't really have anything else that I was thinking of for Halo 3. So, I mean, now it comes down to you, dear listener. If you have a thought about Halo 3, go down into the Q&A in the Spotify the window. Share your thoughts, even if the Q&A has nothing to do with that, because I probably forget when I'm posting it. Just do that. Never done this before. I've never called for someone to do it, so I'm trying my best here. But, guys, I'm in the middle of a McDonald's.
So guys,
is in the
let me
middle
know
of
if you think
McDonald's.
Halo 3 would be better with a store system that has microtransactions.
Oh, dude, you're right. It just would have been more valuable. Bungie would have stayed had they added microtransactions.
Yeah, totally. 100%.
I am not one of those guys that wishes Bungie stayed around, just to be clear. I'm happy with 343. Just because, if anything, I actually get to read books now, and Bungie had like 5 and they didn't consider any of them canon.
Well, that's fun.
I like that actually.
I have 1, 2, 3.
As a
4,
non-reader.
5, 6. I have 6 of the Halo books. I've got Shadows of Reach, Legacy of Onyx, Oblivion, Silent Storm, Smoke and Shadow, and Retribution. I've not read any of them.
Okay, well, you should at least read Silent Storm and Oblivion, because those are the only ones that aren't just in the middle of a trilogy or a solo story. So, yeah, because I think Smoke and Shadow is the beginning of a trilogy, and then Retribution is, I think, maybe actually the third in that trilogy. So you'd just be missing an entire section there.
Some of them I got as like gifts and stuff, but I just like owning them. I did read like I want to say like the first chapter of Shadows of Reach, and I was like, this is a pretty good book. And then I never carried on reading it because my brain is so rotted that like I just don't have the attention span anymore. I like the Halo comics because they have pictures to look at. I've read all of Initiation, about half of Escalation, and then I have Rise of Atriox, I read all that. Tales from Slipspace, read all that. The Halo graphic novel, read all that. Read all the Legacy collection, and yeah, I'm about halfway through Escalation, and I bought another one recently. Was it Fall of Reach? I think I brought Fall of Reach Boot Camp, but I haven't read that yet.
Sweet. Okay. I mean, here's the thing. You don't want to get too invested, because eventually you might feel like making content about it. Not worth it, bro.
I know I did like one short one time, but when Chief and the Didact fought, because apparently I'm one of the only people in the world that actually thinks that's a cool comic.
No way there's people out there. Okay, I live in a vacuum sometimes by choice. There's no way there are people that think that comic sucks.
Oh yeah, people are mad because like Black Team died, and it's like, okay, why are you angry that the characters introduced in a book died in a book?
Yeah, because that's my thinking. Because like our only complaint usually is there's characters that are like Didact, probably the best example, gets introduced in a game and then their story ends in a book.
Yeah,
That's
that's
just sad.
annoying. But when it's a character that's in a book that 90% of the player base realistically will not know about, I don't have an issue with them dying in a book because I didn't know they existed until I read that book.
It's just wild to me. I don't get it in the slightest, but that's just kind of how it is from time to time. Halo is in an interesting place right now. That is for sure. I'm looking forward to seeing how things might switch up, because I've been spending the last few weeks daydreaming, honestly, about like what would be the thing that would make me wake up in the morning and be excited that Halo exists again. Because recently there's not that kind of excitement. I've been sort of pondering what it used to feel like when you go over to a friend's house and they're on their little box TV and they're playing Halo 3 on the 360, but they're also the only friend that you have in the neighborhood that has 2 controllers, so you can play with them.
See, a lot of that, mine ends up being quite different because like none of my friends in school liked Halo. I was bullied in school for being a Halo fan, and
Bro.
And this was like, I mean, like Halo Reach, Halo 4, so like Halo was still very popular, and then high school it would have been Halo 5. So for me, Halo's always been much more of a family thing. Like my parents are the ones that basically like raised me on Halo. When they got a 360, they gave me their original Xbox. I would play Halo 2 all the time with my uncle, who's just a couple of years older than me. We'd play on Arbiter on repeat, and we'd stand on the little conveyor belts that have like the fusion coils that go down them, and we just wait till we fall off the map. And we just do that, and we just laugh at it for like an hour straight. Because
that's
children.
I don't know. That's actually kind of sweet. the fact that your family was like, the hell with those guys. You're gonna have fun, whether one way or
Yeah.
another.
Well, it's like during like Reach and 4, I would just play customs with like my cousins all the time. So that's I think where most of my like Halo memories stem from. It's funny because I would argue I was much more of like a Reach kid. Halo 2 I think was my first Halo, and it's the one that I definitely have like the fondest memories of. And that's why I think like Halo 2 and 3 are like tied for my favorite. But like I technically grew up a Reach kid. But if I'm going to play the multiplayer on any game, Reach would probably be my last pick.
I've heard that many times. I can understand it.
The only
But-
Reach kid doesn't care for Reach. Okay, that's not true. I still love Reach, but like compared
Doesn't. It's funny. Well, as we're coming up on the end here, I have to ask the room. I simply need to know. Since he already said his ranking, he can just rephrase it, Mr. Mag, on or should I call him Mr. Leon? I don't know. Hold on. Actually, is Leon your name, or is that just a part of the nickname?
no, Leon's like my name, like my actual human name.
So what's the magpie part?
Okay. Long story. It's not a long story. My parents are like big football fans. The British football team, Newcastle United.
Real football, yes. Not American football.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, soccer. So the UK team, the English team, Newcastle. Their mascot's a magpie. They're referred to as the Magpies. My parents made my account when I was like 5. The magpie part is because of a football team. I don't really care for football, truth be told. But it's just always stuck. It used to be X Magpie Leon X because like 360 days, and then
Of course, yes. That's how you do it.
when I made my channel, it was X Magpie Leon X MVP.
Ooh.
I reached a point where I was like, that's a bit of a mouthful, because at the beginning of every video, I'd be like, how's it going, guys? X Magpie Leon X MVP here. So I just shortened it down to Magpie Leon, and it's just kind of like stuck that way. And now
That had some energy in it, though.
Bro is no
it
longer
really
the
did. I do this
MVP.
like finger flick too, which was really stupid, but I did that at the beginning of like every video. Like I had aura, man. I had aura. Now it's make shot videos.
Well, if now I'll bring it back around. Then that was actually that was a great origin story. It's probably one of the more interesting ones I've heard. This is the story of my name. So Halo 3 campaign and multiplayer. Where does it rank? Try not to organize the entire franchise. Just give me. Is it in the top 3 or not?
Halo 3 and Halo 2 are tied for my favorite Halo game.
Like campaign and multiplayer, or just are they separate?
It really depends on the mood I'm in. Campaign, both like tied. I think I prefer 2's story, but I prefer 3's like gameplay from a campaign perspective. But then I prefer 2's multiplayer, but I prefer 3's like maps. Sometimes.
That's fair. That is all fair.
Then I remember, what's the one with the big satellite dish? The big team battle map.
Is that standoff?
Might be standoff. I hate standoff. I hate standoff so much. Is it standoff? I need to check it's standoff before I just start saying that I hate the map.
This is what you start saying. It's a completely different map. I hate it.
Yeah, it's standoff. I hate standoff. I hate that map so much.
That'd be
It's-
official now.
What do you hate about it?
I just don't like it. I just don't find it fun.
I used to like it, but then I got knocked off the cliff while I was driving the Warthog.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
But yeah,
I hate every time I stand up on him, and I just get spawn killed by a Gauss Hog like 7 million times.
oh yeah, because that thing is like the Killionaire farm. Because anyone who's not that great at the game could get a Killionaire off of that thing.
Someone on my team will like pick up the spawn leads, and I'm like, shoot the Warthog, and they just won't.
It was great. It was great. James, Halo 3, where's it at? It's okay. You can be honest.
Like 4th or 5th.
I lied. You should have lied.
Probably 4th. Halo 2's my
Okay.
favorite.
It's
Like both campaign and multiplayer.
Yep. Well, multiplayer, no, but Halo 2's campaign carries it for me.
Yes. Connor, where does Halo 3 rank in your limited experience?
So to say, as far as multiplayer goes, I really can't speak on it much because I've not played much of the multiplayer. But for the campaign, it's easily either 1, maybe 2 for me, just because of the significance it has as me playing as a child. Because as a child, Halo 3 is the one I played the most.
Well, now I gotta expand the question because I have to make it. I need to make sure that this is built for you. Halo 3's brutes. Are they your favorite design for the brutes, or is there a game that the brutes are just better?
All right. You see, we kind of talked about this in on Telegram the other day. You just were sending me pictures of brutes. I'm like,
Yep.
yeah, I'm like, these are pretty cool. And I'm like, wait a minute, who's that dude in the background?
Yes, Halo Wars 2 brutes. I think he's a captain of some kind.
Yeah, the Halo Wars 2 brutes. There's just something about them. They have a certain aura.
They look sauce. They have the sauce.
Dude, they just got straight drip. That's it.
Oh man, it's so true. I think if I'm gonna bring it back to me on Halo 3, I think Halo 3 is probably always gonna be in my top 3. Yeah. Multiplayer wise and campaign wise. Campaign, I know it's not that deep. I know the writing isn't amazing. I know that Joe Staten didn't have nearly as much involvement as he should. But man, is it a really good conclusion to a trilogy. And if you're playing all 3 of those games in a single night, like I used to do every single month or week sometimes, depending on how old I was, I was happy to round out what I basically was taking it as the ending of Halo 2. Because if you take Halo 3 as just a very long extended ending to Halo 2, it's a different sort of vibe. Because then you're just like, oh, I have the context of the previous game. So this very, very light and nonsense writing sometimes actually feels a little bit more complete.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, James, would you like to do the outro, or do you want me to try?
I could do it.
I believe.
But anyways, that's all the time we have here on the library. Okay.
I don't do it like that at the end.
I'll stop being weird. What? What did you say?
I said I don't do it like that at the end.
Okay, well that's
I don't
all the
say
time
the
we have here.
library.
This is all the time we have here today. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your patience with me, and of course, let me just get a good meaty thwack. If you want to talk to us, you can go on to discord.gg/JumperScape. We have a huge community. We do game nights basically every week. And, you could just chill and lurk and stare at things if you want to. That's also a possibility. But, if you also want to help support the show, you can go to discord.gg. That's the wrong link. Patreon.com/JumperScape.
We've got plenty of forums and things
Or
to talk
if you
about.
want to green light a show, go to ko-fi.com/JumperScape. Bye.
The library was produced and published by JumperScape Audio. Funding was provided by our fantastic patrons on Patreon. If you enjoy the show and wish to support JumperScape's future projects or get some sweet benefits, join our Patreon at patreon.com/JumperScape or become part of this truly special community at discord.gg/JumperScape. Thank you for your listenership, and we hope you enjoyed.
The Halo universe is filled with wonder, mystery, and fascinating discoveries around every corner. With so much to explore, 4 friends decided it was about time that they booted up their consoles and discussed this universe that has grabbed their attention since childhood. JumperScape Audio kindly welcomes you to join them in the library.
Hello and welcome back to the library, the show where we talk about Halo lore on Tuesdays, but now it's Thursday.
I'm still not home.
Yeah, he's still not home, so you have me doing the funny things today. again.
Yeah,
I hope I did a good job last week. Austin knew more good questions, so maybe I will do more of the hosting today on this occasion.
I'm okay with shutting the hell up.
Hey, you can, you are in a McDonald's, and I'm sure there's a bit of a social anxiety
I
right
am
now.
in a McDonald's. Here's the thing. There's only social anxiety when you care.
Your Wi-Fi is trash. It's garbage. It's literally McDonald's
I
Wi-Fi.
do not. I just simply do not care. I am out here having a great time. We like to have fun here. If anyone else has any problem with me having fun, I am not harming anyone. They can step up.
But so Austin, I have a question.
I have an answer.
Anything community important that we're going to talk about?
Community important?
What'd you have in mind
there's been
this
a
week?
whole lot of argument over what's going on in 343 because it's going back and forth between 343 is doing a lot and also doing nothing, as well as did Joseph Staten get fired or didn't he get fired? Is Min Blitz a shill or is he not a shill? Is Haley a trustworthy source? No.
Yes, and I think the latest thing is that Mint Blitz's source was not Haley.
Even though he still won't say what his source was.
Which, on one hand, you could be like, well, that's rich. But on the other, if it's an actual real source, they probably don't want the
Yeah, but that's
name.
the thing. And that's the thing. If you don't have a source, you shouldn't be reporting on it. I'm just saying. He's not a journalist. He shouldn't. His thing has always been he's good with the trick shots. He's good with all these things. He's a news tuber, sure. He can do news, but he's not a journalist, and that comes out very, very clearly when you watch those sort of pieces that he makes. Because how am I supposed to trust him? There's no way to trust the guy that doesn't actually list his whether or not it was because of an NDA. If you can't list your sources, then you shouldn't talk about it. That's usually the rule of thumb. I know plenty of stuff, but I can't say any of those things because I can't say where my sources are from.
Source, trust me, bro.
Yeah, that was posted everywhere. My source is that I made it the fuck up.
My source is that I don't care.
So anyway, that's pretty much it. Mint Blitz is still out getting hung to dry, which is no surprise to me. I feel bad for the guy. I would like to have him on the show at some point.
Things they are going to be a little sad.
Oh, is it?
Wait, who's going to be sad?
It's going to be a little sad because there's instructions, and not all of them can be followed. So those of you who did Patreon things, I will try my best to adjust your instructions on the fly to make them work.
Or we could just say it anyways and then adjust on live.
I'm excited to listen to this. I've never listened to the library before.
Me neither.
I interrupted you. What were you saying?
I was complaining more. You don't have to listen to me complaining. It's okay. Do the Patreon.
Oh, well, we love you guys at the Patreon. If you want to be a patron, you go to patreon.com/JumperScape. You can get a lot of cool things like stickers.
And we also offered like a t-shirt and a mug. There's also digital downloads. Episodes come out early for you guys when possible. Eventually, if you get a high enough tier, you'll get a full Tarkov, a Halo Story DVD box set. It'll be awesome. It's not a DVD, but actually it will be a DVD because I have a video thing being worked on.
He has a video thing being worked on.
Hey, thanks, James. I appreciate it.
He appreciates it, James.
Well, of course we love our patrons. Like, did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Stares at Shane.
He's not here.
He's not here. As you do fucking know, Jacob Adlam. Oh, wait, let me MK that. God, man. Now I have to go to a different page. Thanks, guys.
It's like that. Just alt tab. Alt tab is easy.
Oh no, that's Discord. Sorry, I'm not slick with it. I don't do all this page stuff on Room 237, releasing every Friday at noon.
Selfless.
Jacob Adlam, Cyan Esports. Thank you guys. We love you. Austin usually says something like that, but I mean it. He means it too. Don't get me wrong. It's default 456. You turned her against me. Stares at Shane. These all say stare at Shane before the dialogue, but I think it's better this way.
He is, in fact, staring at me, and then once he says stare at Shane, then we kind of both
I can
look at his empty
understand
seat.
why.
Hounds of Meath. Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do? This is a great week for me to have to do this. I'm having fun. Spartan Dave, the one, the only, Dick Hammerbush. Captain Varco, UNSC, walk softly, cool blazer. Not reading the rest of it, just as we do every week. Okay. H Ghost, Mo Maggot Yallin, Spartan Hubuko G156, Vermin, Addy Criminal, Connor Clark, Dapper Dame, Dylan, I am Duke, the voice of the Skibbity.
No.
And so you must be mogged. James's Honda Civic. Lactating Gator, Lactating Milk MT, Linda Marie.
It's just a relaxing break, you know what I'm saying?
The
like
lore
a
is
breath of
deep
fresh
on
air.
that
It's like
one.
a cool drink of water at 3 a.m.
That's how it's feeling these days. Sergeant Forge's Chipotle shotgun, the lactation of mercy. My intricts don't work on me, only money.
Oh my gosh, that was a great impression.
Stares at Shane. I'm actually really sad that Shane's not here for me to stare at him for every single one of
I
these.
know.
Brennan Pfeiffer, Sky Cairo, Eliza, JX O'Malley, Keith G077, Mr. Shifter, James Zealot, Slapnuts, Slapnuts,
Every time.
Stably Unstable, Tucker, Stably Unstable. That looks new. Welcome. I think you're new.
Sounds new.
Tucker,
He is
I
new.
think you're new too.
Yeah, we've had a couple new ones.
Wiener Mallet Shrub.
What? I'm gonna give that a
Yeah.
wiener mallet.
Good soldiers follow orders. Except
Stares
it
at
was,
Shane.
no, it was instructions. Austin, turn to James and say with malicious intent.
Good soldiers follow orders.
Thank you. I'm assuming you are somehow turning towards me.
Yes, I did in your general direction according to the position of the sun where Ohio would be.
Cool. Osteodius G. I want to think that there's just a 1 in a million chance that you direct line of sight, technically, directly my position.
I did that.
Okay. Birthday boy lactator. Connor, please quit wondering how I keep entering your home to smell you. There's nothing you can do. Damian Groth, Dr. Lactator.
It's just a dog. That's the twist. It's just a dog.
Ginger
gotta be a
boy
dog.
head ass. Hayden reach around Cortana Hamilton. I can't help falling in love with this patron. I just can't help falling in love with this patron. Okay, I read that. I butchered that. Me and Shane's Kigyar mistress hit off the divorce papers and are on our way. On the way, we are eloping to have hybrids. Ungoy wife.
Yeah.
Oi, Cheyenne, bring us some soda. She's not here
He's
either.
not here.
Pity
He might have still
104.
heard you though.
You know, there's a chance.
If I hear that door open, I'm gonna lose.
Sad Hater 69.
Same days.
Sorry, I forgot to change my name after last week, so this is to make up for it. I'm upstairs making Moa burgers for you for you all.
I like to think he's just still doing that.
Be down in a. It cuts off.
Yeah.
Who are you people, and why did you take my money, and why are you reading my name? Formerly Skenji, pronounced Zenji. I was pronouncing it wrong. Love you. Aw, that's nice. Extretian, Claude Spark, 5970. Connor in Shane's Bloody Shed Man.
What?
Connor in Shane's Bloody Shed Man. Daniel Dumpweed, Garrus Vicarian, Halo the Guy, Is Carrie, Kiri, Kyle Hooley, You said you would stay away. I lied.
Man.
I lied.
One of the best interactions in Star Wars, period.
And then, of course, warm apple smouse.
Last but never least.
Oh, that was fun. I like that. Let me do more.
You know, James,
let me do more
this.
Star
Almost
Wars.
like you host your own show.
Yeah, it's called Room 237 every Friday at noon.
Hey, Connor, when are you going to get your own show?
I've been thinking about what I could do, but yeah.
You should keep on thinking about it because we're almost ready to greenlight
Also,
another
for
show.
the
We just need a
reviews,
little-
should I
like a
be
few more
using
donations and
Chartable
we can
or
get,
Apple
we can get our
Podcasts?
show greenlit.
done?
Sorry. Should I be using Chartable or Apple Podcast Connect?
You should use Chartable because Apple Podcasts will require you to do extra steps that I don't feel like doing at the moment.
Wait, does that mean are you going to read off that story if there's another part, or are we going to save that for when
There's
Shane's here?
a story, and I mean, should you wait until Shane shows up? I mean, what if? Okay, hold on, wait. What if we don't read the story, and then Qdorian writes the next part anyway, so we have 2 times the updates for next week,
I like that idea. I like that. I like it a lot.
and then Shane's here and all of that, so we can react to it. Since it's about his garage, he needs to be there.
Yeah. Don't read it.
But everything else is free game. Go for it.
Don't read it, James. Don't spoil it for yourself.
No, it's still part 5, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's no new part.
This is trash. Maybe he just knows that Shane's not here.
Maybe he just knows.
He has been doing like every other week kind of recently.
Are there any other new reviews? Because I don't think we've had a lot of
is
interaction
yummy.
recently.
I'm trying to figure out which one of these is new.
Usually it's up near the top, but I can understand it. If you want to try using podcasts, I can do the thing. You just have to type, you have to try to log in, but it has autofill. So you just click on the bar, type on click on my email, then do the same thing, but on the password.
I figured it out.
Okay.
You got it.
Oh, I have 2 factor authentication. Did you get a text message?
I did. Stand by.
Standard.
I'm gonna read the number live on the air once I actually for real get it.
Man, I'm just waiting for that cat to start walking down the stairs. It's just sad it's not here.
Your number ends in 5-4, right?
It ends in what?
5-4?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Just making sure.
It hasn't been sent to me yet, though.
Hey, James, can I get a Slim Jim? The slimmest of the gyms.
The slimmiest of Jimmy's.
Slimmiest of Jimmy's. Yeah.
I'm actually kind of sad I can't partake. And this is the first time I've eaten in McDonald's in probably over a year, and it is not feeling fulfilling. Hey, that code. Are you ready?
Yeah.
It's 243967.
We like to have fun here.
Guys, there's dead air. Don't let there be dead air. That's like rule number
I've
5.
been trying by saying we
Oh
like
my
to have fun
God.
here.
There is a part 6. It's just not on Chartable.
That's why we check it. That's why I'm like, okay, there probably is one because it just sometimes lags behind. Chartable is slow. Apple Podcasts is current. The only thing about Apple Podcasts is that it will remove some reviews because some reviews will have, I guess it's if you start it the right way or end it the right way, Apple Podcasts will be like, well, that's not a real review and get rid of it.
Interesting.
Okay. So, what was the idea we were gonna do for Let Us Out Part?
Read both in part 6 and 7. If he writes 7 next week, read both of them for
But
Shane.
won't part
next
7
week.
disappear?
Or screenshot it. Screenshot.
Won't
Take
part 6 disappear?
Oh yeah, you right. Screenshot it.
How do I do that?
Screenshot. Copy,
Hold the
paste.
Windows key, Shift key, and S, and then just
Oh, God,
drag over. the whole
It
thing.
doesn't fit in one screen.
Try copy pasting all of it.
Yeah, there's that too. Or you could just take multiple screenshots. There is that option.
Okay. Well, how do I do it again?
Okay, so hit Windows key, Shift, and S, and then click and drag over what you want to screenshot, and then you know how you do copy paste, right?
Control C, Control V.
Yeah.
Yeah, you paste that into my Telegram chat, and then hit enter, and then it'll send, and then you just take another screenshot and do that yet again.
Try not to spoil
I'm
it for yourself,
struggling.
Austin. I don't know if you do that anyway.
I'm struggling. I'm
Just
struggling.
Shift, Windows key, S, then click and drag, and then you send that to me. And then you
Wizard,
do it
the
again.
wizard could not start.
What?
He just said the wizard could not start.
Oh my gosh, I've had that guy on payroll. He must think he's on break because I'm not home.
Make sure your audio hardware is working properly and check your what?
What are you hitting instead of Windows Shift S?
That's what I did.
Okay, do the copy and paste thing. Just like try to select the whole thing and then copy.
Oh. I did it. Okay, so you want me to draw on it?
And like drag the box so that it's like a phone screenshot. You can move the box around. Just click and drag until the box selects the
Okay.
whole thing, and then just paste that off to me.
Okay.
While we're figuring this out, your daily bit of lore for the week is: did you know that Jerkstore Grunt is canon?
Well, I hope so. He was there.
And there you go. That's thank you for listening to the library's weekly Halo fact.
Now Telegram won't open.
Oh no.
Okay, just figure it out.
Just a text document. It's a Word document.
I have an idea. How about I just do this? I open up Apple Podcasts on my phone and I just do it. I just take a screenshot there.
That should work. I'll just have to log in again. And also, you don't know my password, and I don't know my password.
I mean, does this not get published?
I mean, I guess it might have. I don't know. Apple Podcasts can take a while to publish sometimes. But hey, if you see it, then you see it. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
While you're doing that, I'm going to open up the Discord Q&A so I can contribute.
Just to be safe, I copy pasted it and sent it to myself from your laptop.
Oh, I don't get to do the Q&A today.
Do you want to do it?
It's okay. Yeah, I found Let Us Out Part 6. I can take phone screenshots.
I also have the whole story in our conversation on Telegram, Austin, just in case.
Awesome. So, am I doing the Q&A, or would you like to do it, James?
I can do it. I'm ready.
Okay, I'll just keep on being a background character.
I'm almost there. This is.
By the way,
long.
I know the Disability Pride Month coding kind of goes hard.
It is kind of cool. I saw it on Magpie's Twitter.
Like, I don't know why they were like, Disability Pride Month? That means everything looks like Star Wars droids.
Also, I was going through Magpie's TikTok, and his face cam shots kind of makes it look like he has no arms.
Maybe he doesn't. Disability Pride Month, man. Come on.
No, I know he does.
No, I know he has arms.
It just looks like he doesn't.
Oh my gosh, this episode is so long.
Okay. Yes.
Really? 4 screenshots?
Yeah.
Or look at.
Oh my gosh.
Or look at our conversation.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Corsair74X asks, how often does Shane feed the garage? P.S. Let us out.
So
I'll mark the questions for you, by the way, James, so you don't have to worry about that part. The answer is he doesn't feed it. I know this about Shane. I've visited the garage frequently. He doesn't feed anyone in there ever.
You have to eat the Halo 3 rats that sneak in.
That wasn't him feeding them. They just did that.
I know, that's how they live.
Yeah, it's like it's probably one of the best parts of their living condition. I'm not gonna lie.
This is all speculation, as this is Shane's garage. All right, what's next?
Slipstream19 asks if you guys could have any other vehicle, what would it be?
Like
any other vehicle?
Does that mean a different answer than the ones we already gave when we were asked this question before?
Because my answer before was choppers,
Halo.
so I can understand why he would be like Austin. We all know would be the IRL Warthog, because that would be my second choice.
Oh, are we talking about Halo vehicles or like in real life vehicles?
He didn't specify, so I'm gonna say TIE Fighter.
Oh yeah. I'm taking the big Super Star Destroyer, the one that from episode 6 that looks like a city.
It's also an Empire,
Yeah,
but you know,
yeah, that one. Oh, really? I thought it got destroyed because it ran into the Death Star.
Empire Strikes Back was before Episode 6.
Huh?
Wow.
Next question. I'm done. I've had it with on that.
Well, the next question is MXDO11 asks, what is each of your preferred method of consuming the books? Paperback, ebook, or audiobook? I personally prefer audiobook, but the nutritional value is a bit lacking with that format.
The nutritional value?
He said consuming the books, so...
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess if I'm going to consume the books, I'm probably going to pick paperback because you got lots of fiber in that, but the ink is a problem. But no, if we're talking about actually reading the books, my preferred is paperback. I just have to do audiobooks because I'm a little bit of a busy guy, so I have to multitask.
I have to do an audiobook or I will not finish any book.
Hardback, because I'm hard.
Okay, Connor, you don't read the
Pause.
books. Kyle would like to know, when you guys get to HCS and you see and sign Jumper Car, and then I begin taking you to the convention center, do you want a super fast drive or a calm drive? Also, would you like to listen to the Lorecast episodes while you drive there, or Avenged Sevenfold? Those are the only options. Do you want the McChickens in a giant tub, or a heat-lined bag, or bags?
Okay, I can contribute to this because so first of all, I think I speak for everyone when I say we want a calm drive, because the trip is going to be like 16 hours of flying.
I would like.
Okay, well, we'll get out once we get
G-force.
Okay,
all right.
We'll get out when you can stay in the car. We'll get out of the convention center. You can go for a lap. I would like to live.
I would like a calm drive. If we're talking about what to listen to, I would like to listen to any Halo Lorecast that's not ours.
I would just say Halo music.
That's both are good.
The thing is, I want to listen to what I want to know what it's like listening to Halo Lore podcast episodes in a car that's not my show.
You know, you can like do that on your own,
but I can't get myself to do it.
But I don't wanna.
It seems like you don't want to. It seems like you don't want to know what it's like.
Because every single time that I've listened to other Halo Lore podcasts, first of all, it's sad because they usually end. And then second of all, if they are currently ongoing, I don't know any of them. There's no other show aside from ours.
Well, you know,
we like that.
As for the McChickens, I think I would probably say we need the heat-lined bags or bag to hold them so that they actually stay warm, because here's the thing. I love McChickens. They're my favorite item on McDonald's menu. However, when you get a cold McChicken, there is nothing worse than how plastic that sandwich feels.
I personally,
someone's never woken
will
up.
Probably eat 2, and that's it.
Someone has never woken up at 3:00 in the morning, absolutely starving.
I have, and I just cook.
You know what I do? I go back to bed.
Hey, if it's there, I'm gonna eat it. All right. Also, I will definitely be eating multiple McChickens on the ride there.
Who wins in a
by
fight?
the way,
by
the way, James, I'm going to let you call it on the ending of this episode. I don't see the time code, so I'm just going to let you say when. I'm going to be like you guys. I want to know what it's like to just suddenly be told it's over.
Okay, well, we're going to answer a lot of questions.
That's okay. That's fine.
Turbo Furby wants to know who wins in a fight: Spartan 2 Washout and the current head of Oni, Saren Osman, or Sergeant Johnson.
I'm gonna say Sergeant Johnson.
Like those two together. Oh no, she is a Spartan 2 Washout. Duh.
Yes.
Johnson. Isn't she paralyzed?
She's not paralyzed. That's someone else.
My mistake. Oh.
Saren Osman is the one that called for the execution of Halsey.
I've only ever seen her sitting at a desk, so I assumed that maybe
She shows up in 2 or 3 of the books, is in one of the comics, I think, and she is scary. I mean, she was a valid replacement for Perrin Goski, but I don't think she's going to be able to. Considering that she's a washout, considering that she hasn't had combat experience, really. Johnson, 25 to 30 years of combat experience, plus he's an Orion. Like, yeah, no, he wins. Here's a quick little lore bit for you guys. Halo Silent Storm. There's an entire moment where the Black Daggers, an ODST battalion, go up against Spartan 2s, 12 of them. That's Gold Team, Green Team, and Blue Team. All go against a whole battalion of ODSTs. And the Spartans are wiping the floor with them. They are cleaning house. They're using these shells that will lock your armor when you get hit. So they would do things like set up all these different scenarios. Like one of them was hold a position where the only way that the ODSTs could come in was through this very tight tunnel. And the only way the fight ended was the tunnel got so cramped no one could go anywhere because the armor was locked and there were so many bodies. But the only time that it changed was as soon as Johnson took over, all of a sudden the Spartans started losing. The ODSTs started beating them. On a usual ratio, one Spartan equals like 20 ODSTs. But Johnson, according to his results, the ODSTs started being valued more like 1 to 5, which was absolutely insane. So Johnson's experience is partially why the Spartans are so effective. Johnson would win.
Like I said.
Yeah, well, what Austin said.
I called it at the very beginning.
Okay,
I just
hey,
knew.
hold on. Since this show is advertised to be like, this is an Xbox Live party late at night where you're just talking about lore, do I sound like that? Am I that guy?
Yes.
I mean, in that instance, yeah, sure. I was trying to find something witty to say and I lost it. Lactose Chainsword would like to know if Magic the Gathering and 343 did a collab commander decks. Who would be the 4 commanders and what colors would they be? I know nothing about Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, me neither. I can't speak on this.
Okay, I can answer this again. I guess I'm the nerdiest dude in the entire crew at all times.
You know, yeah.
But, okay, 4 commanders. You're going to have to, if we're talking Magic the Gathering, we're talking Prophet of Truth, Master Chief, Arbiter, and Atriox. That's just the way that it's got to be. And we're talking Chief. Obviously, he's green. Prophet of Truth, he's purple. Atriox is red, and Arbiter is gold.
No Gravemind?
No, I don't. If I have to pick the 4 that I would, if I only have to pick 4, this is the thing. I would want a commander for all of the significant leaders in Halo. But if I only have to pick 4, I mean, we're talking about things that would be easy to add in. UNSC, Covenant, and Banished, those are the easiest. Flood, that's when people start messing things up.
Okay, well, there's the answer.
Yeah.
Seaman JumperScape would like to know Halo 2 Lasso as a Marine? Battle Dudes? Is this a mod?
It is a mod. There's a mod that exists for all of the MCC games where you can play as an ODST or a Marine in all of the campaigns. The only thing is, Halo 2 Lasso. Yes, could we do it? Totally. I think it would be possible as a Marine. However, Halo 2's co-op is limited to 2 people. We probably would be better off doing Halo 3 Legendary Lasso, whatever, as a Marine, especially since that will probably be better because I think the Halo 3 and Reach ones actually have a third-person camera instead of a first-person, so it would probably be actually doable on Lasso for those who don't have things like have the willpower to do things like put tape on their screen where the reticle would be.
Oh, look at this guy.
Hey there, Halo fans. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with our friends right after these messages.
I'm just saying, that was what I used to do, but then I got a monitor that actually, I didn't know it until way later into playing Lasso. It has a project reticle button. You just push a button on there, and it'll put a reticle on the screen, superimposed on top of everything. So I just kind of use that to make it so I don't need to put tape on it anymore.
Cool. No. Dangerous Rough 33 asks, which faction from Halo do you think will survive the longest in the Warhammer universe?
Warhammer again?
Ooh.
Yeah. And how many of their most elite unit do you think will it take to kill a Space Marine? Personally, think about the Forerunners, and even with their advanced weapons and armor, I'm thinking it will take 5 to 10 of the Prometheans to one Space Marine. Personal preference to Space Wolf. Of Space
Okay,
Wolf.
Space Wolves are awesome, obviously. James, do you know anything about Warhammer?
Nope.
Connor does. Connor, what's your answer?
I have a very bare understanding of
Guys,
Warhammer.
please don't make me do this again. I don't
But,
want to be the only guy.
Hey, it's not my fault. It's the questions.
But what could take out?
I just don't feel like being the nerdiest person in the room all the time.
I want to say
It juxtaposes how big of a guy I am and how much I like to do manly things.
For me, it's just where do I want to start with and who do I want to start with. I want to say probably like all of Chief's blue team. Maybe I feel like that could maybe take down a Space Marine. I don't know. It's very open ended.
Here's my thing. I don't think Space Marines are so tough. Johnson can beat him 1-on-1.
No.
Yep, that's it. That's the answer.
No.
Anyway, because I have nothing to contribute. Flyboy Pfeiffer wants to know, what kind of questions do y'all enjoy answering the most?
The ones where everyone can answer.
I was gonna say, like, I like the ones where it kind of feels like we're doing like getting to know each other exercises. I like the more like personality based ones where fun discussion can be sparked.
I like the ones where it feels like you're actually
I was gonna
where you're
touch
like adding
on
a
my
whole new
things I don't
segment.
enjoy, but I see that's a question soon after this one, so we'll hold on that.
Yeah, anything that adds to the segment is great. Anything that turns into a conversation or an exploration. Yeah, if it's silly every now and then, sure, I'll take that. However, the ones that are just like,
hey, I
listen,
said don't
guys,
touch on the ones you don't like because that's a question later.
No, I'm not saying. I'm
Okay.
saying, and this is applicable. Just questions about Warhammer and stuff, the extra content. Here's the thing, guys. I'll just explain this. We all know Call of Duty. We all know Star Wars. We all know Halo. Is probably about it.
For like actually like everyone understanding, yep.
Yeah, like deeply, yes.
Yeah, my Warhammer knowledge is very surface based.
Well,
it's not that
Yeah,
Did you
I
answer the
dip
question?
I dip my toes into a lot of things.
not
So
in a good way.
Okay, well, Austin's ungoy stepchild would like to know, what is the purpose of Shane's garage? Who made Shane sad enough to go and lock humanity in there? Why isn't the PS2 blowing up?
I thought it did. They made like a little
the PS2
hole.
did blow up. I think this guy was late.
Here's a good answer for every one of those questions. What is the purpose? It holds cars.
That's it.
Who made Shane sad enough to go and lock humanity in there? You should look in the mirror. Why isn't the PS2 blowing up? It did.
Thanks, James. That was awesome.
They only made a 1 inch by 1 inch hole in the garage door.
Anyone else have anything to say about that?
Yeah, bring it on.
Austin?
No, I'm good.
Well, Kyle wants to know what kind of questions that we do not enjoy answering the most.
The weird ones that are just trying to get us to either say weird things or react to weird things.
Yeah. For me, that's probably the real answer, is just the ones that are basically nonsense.
Because here's the thing, I very much enjoy when the community is an interactive thing. However, I don't like being. Sometimes it feels like I'm more like a zoo animal with some of these questions. You just want to see what I'll say.
Yeah. But another answer would be like, I don't know how many times I can say who my favorite Halo character or Halo side character or Halo gun is. I feel like I've answered those 3 questions like 30 times. I will always answer it like it's the first time. But
if it's a new
that's
person,
the unfortunate part. The more that you hear that you get new listeners, they're going to keep thinking they're the first ones to do it.
Yeah, because obviously no one's going to scroll all the way through the Q&A channel to check every question. Oh god, MK. It's here.
Okay. As I was saying, every time we have to push the MK, I'm always slamming an imaginary button that's in front of me,
which is I think only twice so far.
Yeah,
this whole like time. But hey, we're on good behavior. What was the question? Oh yeah, do not enjoy answering. Yeah, I know it's like no one's gonna like just know every question that's ever been asked on the show. So that's why I just always answer it like I've never answered it before. But like, oh, I have said the Arbiter so many times.
And I will gladly say George every time.
I've said the Energy Sword a lot of times.
I will say the Gravity Hammer every time.
I am at least consistent, you know? Same with Connor.
Yep, yeah. And I will say the Brutes every time.
Austin's ungoy stepchild would like to ask a question for Connor.
Ooh, I'm listening.
Would you play the next Halo iteration even if there is no Gravity Hammer?
A Halo without a Gravity Hammer? That just doesn't sound right to me.
Halo 2.
What?
Well, that's the thing. The Gravity Hammer was an innovation. So any game that came out before it that didn't have it, that's fine.
I know, but he said that doesn't. It says that doesn't sound like a thing. And it's a thing.
Wait, Halo
So,
2 doesn't have gravity hammers?
not that you can use. Technically,
Oh.
big.
You could go play
technically.
Dig Site MCC if you want to use it.
Huh. Any new Halo without a gravity hammer just doesn't seem right to me.
I mean, Halo 5 for a while didn't have it at launch.
Yeah, that was weird.
What the?
It came in a Griffball update.
Oh, I'm baffled.
They had it eventually, so at least it was there.
I mean, if it's gonna be put in eventually, I guess I'll play it. But I mean, if it has the brutes, I'll still play.
And then for the show, what is one thing you need in the next Halo game for you to be happy / content with it?
Big heavy machine gun.
I like your style, Connor.
And of
A
course,
campaign written by one person who put more than a month of thought into it.
Yeah, I was gonna say playable elites, but that's probably a better answer. Honestly, yeah, just a story, a campaign that feels like it had love put into it.
Yes. You know what? 343, hire me.
Hire him.
Oh my gosh. Thanks, guys.
Let them bring us with you.
Don't worry, I'll fly you out to Seattle with me.
I'll be a complete nepotism hire. I don't care.
leak all the
I have
information.
no shame. A2Bucks would like to ask, do you all watch anime? If so, which ones are your favorite? I'm going to just be quiet now because I don't watch any.
Okay.
One Punch
I don't
Man.
watch it very much at all.
That's the only one I've ever
Bungo Stray
watched.
Dogs, though.
I have watched a lot of the more popular shonens. Probably the show I currently watch on a weekly basis is One Piece because it's been a weekly release for as long as anyone can remember. I like anime a little bit. Yeah, we've got a whole forum dedicated to it in our Discord.
You do?
Yeah, we do. We have a anime forum called Weebs, I think, section, or anime. I can't remember. I have to look.
I'll have to see if I can get Cheyenne linked on that because it's a forum in discord.gg/JumperScape where you can join and talk about anime, I guess.
Oh, wow. Good plug.
Yeah, I tried, but like I kind of just forgot.
Yeah.
It's okay. It just rattles off the tongue for me. It's ingrained into my brain.
Yeah,
Everyone go do that.
I'm not there yet.
Everyone go do that. Everyone go do that. Kyle wants to know what's your ideal outcome
my
regarding the
favorite,
Flood
did everyone
Spartan.
hear me say what my favorite was?
You said, I heard you say it. I just don't remember
It's
what you
Bungo
said.
Stray Dogs.
That one. Kyle wants to know what your ideal outcome regarding the Flood Spartan on the Condor in the middle of nowhere is. It actually being resolved is my answer in any way.
I will answer that, but with an addendum. It better not be resolved in a game.
Why?
Why not?
Guys, do you have any idea how confusing that would be? There's just suddenly a flood-infected Spartan that just shows up in the campaign.
Well, you just adapt that.
No, that's just it's not main plot worthy. If you've actually read Saturn Devouring His Son, it is such a random side story that takes place in a location that doesn't matter and has got characters that we've never heard of before. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever, really. If you really think about it, it's a wild story, but I would want it resolved in another chronicle, honestly. And then, do Spartans getting infected by flood in a different way, in a more significant way, on a more significant location with more significant characters. Make it more significant. It's just the fact that the Waypoint Chronicles usually are just made up of characters I never heard before. It just doesn't work.
Why do I feel him talking like this with his hands just like looks like he's about to grab something? That's
What?
I have the image. I have this image of you like just shaking your hands at just air, just ain't right.
I can, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Slipstream 19 wants to know. Okay, so you guys are Spartans. Which armor set from all 3 generations of Mjolnir are you picking? Bonus question for James and Connor. Which Sangheili combat harness or brute armor are you guys picking, respectively?
Ooh.
So am I answering first since you guys got that specific one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I am always going to pick Mark IV. It makes you look the bulkiest, beefiest boy that ever existed. I don't care that it's basically vintage in comparison to the sports cars of Gen 3. I'm going to use Mark IV.
Yeah, give me that one brute armor we were talking about earlier.
Halo Wars 2 Captain Armor.
Yes, that. Yeah, that's about it. Maybe not the helmet. I'm like in between on the helmet. The helmet's still cool, but like I don't know. It depends on what I'm feeling that day.
Hell yeah. For me, so am I picking a Spartan and an elite armor?
If you want.
If I'm
Gen 3 because it's the most advanced. So yeah, and it'd probably just be whatever my infinite set at the moment is. But elite combat harness. I'm a simple man in the universe. I'd probably just say minor. No, wait. Halo 2 Spec Ops. Halo 2 era Spec Ops is my choice.
And then if I were to pick,
because it's the same silhouette, but the better armor, better camo, not better shields. But that's okay.
Papa John's.
Papa John's.
if I were to pick a Spartan, it's gonna be George. As long as I get the height, we'll be cool.
So he would wear Grenadier armor. Got it.
Yeah.
Does Austin face McShooty, by the way? Does Austin like to eat Carolina Reaper chilies?
No, General Heed got me to eat a Carolina Reaper wing, and it was one of the worst experiences I've ever had. I was able to handle it. I didn't break down like a couple other of the guys did. I was just kind of standing there taking it. However, the flight home was terrible.
Wait, when was this?
2 years ago, HC.
2 years ago? Sorry.
Okay. We should all revisit that challenge.
I would do it.
I don't want to do it. You guys can do it. You can enjoy the flight home where you are forced to just sit there and hope you don't have to use the shitter on the plane.
No, I'll be fine.
I think we should time it up a little better with our flight, but yeah.
If you could, would you? If you couldn't, would you want to? Please explain.
Okay, so that's actually a really deep question on that one.
This is from
I think
Seaman,
in
by
the
the way.
present situation where I would be able to, I probably wouldn't, because if the question is if you could, then I probably already have. So in a scenario where I could do if I would want to, if I've already gotten it accomplished, then it's not necessarily a need, if that makes sense.
What?
Mass wants to know, Austin, this is more a question for you, but if the boys know their choice, feel free. Who is your favorite RVB AI? Mine will always be Epsilon. I've watched the entire series multiple times, and just because you assumed I haven't, I'm not answering your question. Go ahead, Austin.
Phyllis/Sheila.
I'm taking James's stance on this, but I haven't watched it, so
You're not allowed to take this stance. It's obvious you haven't.
I'm not answering.
Connor, quick. Say Omega.
Omega.
He's right. He would be right. Even when he watches the show, I'm calling it. His favorite AI is Omega.
Omanga.
I hate that when I rewatch it. Whenever I hear Sigma, I just laugh.
That word's been ruined.
What the Sigma?
Stop. What's the next question?
Judy Cans wants to know. I don't know if this question has been answered before, but who would win in a fight? Okay, the UNSC Infinity versus a Star Destroyer from Star Wars, or would the Infinity stand a chance against Snoke's flagship, the Supremacy?
That's actually
I-
that's going to take a sec to debate.
I don't think the Infinity would stand a chance.
I'm not going to speak on anything in the new Star Wars era. I do not
So,
support it.
Okay, James,
Here's the thing.
And I'm
If we're
gonna
going with
agree you
Legends
directly.
numbers of what turbo lasers megatons are,
Yeah, okay, now we're talking.
How are they?
Some turbo lasers.
the turbo lasers are a much more powerful munition than anything the Covenant has.
Okay, so we're talking like is it the Covenant has one particular weapon that they only used once so far that we've seen, called the Plasma Lance, and what that thing does is it did the thing that happened in Halo 2 where it fired one time, sliced straight through a ship, and it's done in one shot. You saying that would happen every time?
Probably.
Or just put a big
Damn.
hole through it.
Because if the UNSC was able to get at least one shot off with the Infinity, the Mac rounds, I think the Mac rounds would probably do a lot. Because the Star Destroyers, much like anything in Star Wars, they don't really take ballistics into account. Ballistics really aren't a thing.
And then it comes down to how good shields are, and good luck comparing shields from world to world.
Yeah, because the thing is that Mac rounds can punch straight through Covenant shields, but we don't know. I mean, I guess some nerd out there that is more patient than I am, because I could figure it out, but I don't feel like it.
I'm looking something up. I'm looking something up.
Star Wars shields versus Covenant shields.
Any word yet?
Um,
What's the word?
Because the only major thing that the humans have on the Star Destroyer is range. I know the Star Destroyer's accuracy is not great at range, but humans can nail some shots with that Mac round from very long distance.
they are big. That's all. That's all I'm getting.
Okay, in the hypothetical that the shields are as strong as the Covenant or weaker, I'm going to call it that the UNSC would be able to have a farther engagement range, and since the Infinity has what I would call kind of like revolving Mac cannons, because it has two primary Mac cannons. When one fires, the other one is reloading, so they can just rapid fire Mac blasts. If that's the case, Infinity wins without even having to deploy its fleet that it keeps in its belly, which is an important thing there, because I think the Star Destroyer is about the size of, not like a frigate, but it's certainly not, it's much smaller than the Infinity, I think. So the Infinity is probably going to have more advantage. However, if it does get in range and the Star Destroyer can use its turbo lasers, Infinity probably won't last very long, given that the Infinity still doesn't have shields, despite the fact that the UNSC has been researching shipboard shields for decades now. They still haven't applied them for some reason. And they don't really have very good point defense weapons. So out of range, Mac Blast, easy win. In range, they lose.
And if we say the Infinity would win and it gets upgraded to fighting the Supremacy, I don't know if any of y'all remember it. That ship is really, 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 really big. I don't think so.
I'm not even going to speak on these.
Although it should be noted, Poe out here just easy.
That wasn't the
made it look
Supremacy.
easy. Oh,
That was the Supremacy was the other really, really big one that came in later.
you know, it's just those ships just blend together because they're all just the same ship from the Empire.
No, it looked like a fucking frisbee, my guy.
I don't know. I just don't
Not a
remember any of the
frisbee.
ships because
It was the one that looked like a
voice this
B-2 stealth bomber, but
I'll
it
just
was
voice
like
this
the size
complaint
of a
real quick,
planet.
okay? There are 30 years between the prequels and the originals, and there's a realistic time, like a innovation change. But then there's 30 years between the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy, and nothing's changed.
I would say the difference between the Venator and the Imperial Star Destroyer is almost as much different as the Imperial Star Destroyer in the First Order one, if you look at pictures.
I mean, I've seen them. It's just they don't look like design-wise. It's just here's my
All
thing,
three
and
of
this
them
is
are
just the thing, okay?
triangles.
Given the fact that it's been 30 years and all they did was make the TIE fighters white, that is boring. That's not fixing any of the problems that the TIE fighter had.
Yeah, but we were talking about Star Destroyers, I thought.
I'm talking about just the genuine innovation of technology from the original the original trilogy to the sequel trilogy. Star Destroyers are part of that. The Star Destroyers don't change in design nearly as much as a Venator to a Star Destroyer.
It could be modular upgrades, and it could just be internal.
Because like
upgrades that
the
we can't
Venator out
see.
here has 2 bridges. It has point defense cannons that are insane. It can deploy bombers from the center of the ship. Star Destroyer kind of just undid all of that because it was supposed to be a policing thing rather than a war machine. And for some reason, when they stopped doing policing because the Empire fell and they're back to being a war machine, the Star Destroyer still has the exact same capabilities with the same weaknesses.
Yeah, I don't know enough
Basically,
about the first order
you know
Star
what?
Destroyer to put
Star
any
Wars,
defense
Disney,
in.
somebody let me hire me. I will think about this so hard.
Anyway, can't open CPON right now. Okay, I guess he's having trouble getting the Council of Patreon names open at the moment. I'd like to know, how do you think the world will be in 30-25 years? Okay, not in 30-25, in 3,025
2550s.
years. Okay.
Oh, 50-50.
Yeah, that will be not my problem.
Yeah, it'll be in 50-50. My bad. I don't know where that math came from just now.
I'm gonna say the world will probably be it's different. Maybe we'll have another Halo game by then.
And say that it's not here anymore.
Maybe we'll have another Halo game by then.
It might get announced. You never know.
Flyboy Pfeiffer asks, what is the CMH, Congressional Medal of Honor, equivalent in the UNSC? How many does Chief? They would need to change the laws, though, because they kind of made a rule that after Dan Daly almost won 3, that you can only ever win 1 Medal of Honor in your lifetime.
So it sounds like
I don't know.
one.
Is there an equivalent? Do we not know the answer to this?
It's just the medal system is very much the same as the U.S. because basically UNSC is super America. So, I don't know. Probably.
Okay. Well, very good answer, Austin. Thank you. We were depending on you. See, man.
I don't know. The only Medal of Honor winner that I think of the most is John Chapman.
Oh, I think of John Basilone. I feel like you have to say it like that. Who is, in your opinion, the strongest, not just physical, fictional character of all time?
Hulk.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wait, are we talking in all verses?
Yeah, everything.
I don't want to have this conversation.
I don't know.
It's Hulk.
God.
I'm only
not saying he's fictional, but there's fictional depictions of God.
Like, I don't want to have this conversation because this is a long conversation.
I'm just gonna say Hulk. If you pick the versions where they don't cuck him, Hulk is straight up. He can't. He only gets stronger. That is the most
stronger. Boring answer. There are so many more people that are more powerful than the Hulk.
That's the thing, though. The longer he fights, the stronger he gets. That's the point. At some point, he's able to destroy the galaxy.
I'm gonna pull my Doom card guy.
I'm still going with any fictional depiction of God.
Archangel Michael.
Michael was pretty awesome. He do be tearing stuff up.
Flyboy Pfeiffer would like to know, which do you prefer, Chick-fil-A or McDonald's?
Chick-fil-A.
The Chick-fil-A app, yeah, that's an easy answer. God. The Chick-fil-A app gives you a bunch of free stuff, and their nuggets feel less synthetic. Not to sway y'all's opinion or anything, those seasonal shakes at CFA are pretty fantastic. Are you just being an advertisement for Chick-fil-A right now? You know,
I mean, I like it. I would usually say go for McDonald's because of the price, but again, McDonald's forgot who they are, and I say that in a McDonald's.
I would say
so
if you're in the mood for any kind of chicken product, go to Chick-fil-A. But they don't have burgers at Chick-fil-A. But then again, I think McDonald's burgers are nasty. So
McDoubles are okay. I like the McDoubles.
I will say this.
Quick, James.
Unrelated. What? Hold on. Let me say.
I'm just going to turn you down real quick, James. Unrelated.
Okay. Fine. I am going to say, though, if you're in the mood for some McNuggets, there's nothing that fills that void. It's only McNuggets. That's the only thing like that. Like,
Wendy's nuggets are better.
Chicken nuggets, you can go to Wendy's or you can go to Chick-fil-A or you can go anywhere else. But if you want McNuggets, You're getting McNuggets. They're their own food. They're not like other chicken nuggets. They're their own thing.
I will not eat McNuggets. I can't.
Shout out to when me and James ate 80 of them in one night.
Oh, I threw up.
I can't. I can't. They're just weird.
The
to
level
me.
of bloating I was experiencing was unreal.
We're going to do 3 more.
Okay.
Kind of rapid fire. Cortana is our concern now. Which 4 Spartans are you sending to stop blue team? And why did Shane say silver team?
Shane wouldn't have said that.
Shane would not have even thought to have said silver team, and he would be very offended if he were here.
If we're talking about sending Spartans to stop blue team, it would have to be another team of Spartan 2s. So, gray team.
Well, he said 4 Spartans, so it doesn't have to be just one team. You can pick an all-star team if you want.
Well, the thing is that gray team is actually 3, so I'd have to pick another one. But
Noble 6.
You know, if he was alive.
That's not the question. The question is just which 4 Spartans are you sending? It didn't say they had to be alive at the time.
That are alive.
All right.
I'm going to say Gray Team plus June, because Gray Team is the special Oni exclusive Spartan 2 team that only does things for Oni. So I'm going to say they got this.
All right. We're going to go with George, because who saw that coming? Up next, we're going to go with, you just said it. Rook?
Noble 6?
Noble 6, yeah. Noble 6, because Jazz. And then for my...
Wait, what?
Yeah. Am I getting mixed up again?
To continue.
And then for my next 2 Spartans, I think they're called headhunters, and they go on suicide missions. You told me about
all the time.
Yeah. Those I'm picking 2 of those guys.
Are you sure you don't want to? Technically, James. I mean, Connor. Technically, Connor. Ilsa Zane is a Spartan,
but she's bad.
That's fine. She's a Spartan.
I will keep one of the headhunters. And then add Ilsa Zane.
Awesome.
Well, I'm going to say Noble 6. I'm going to say June. I'm going to say Jerome. And we'll throw in Master Cheeks just to confuse people.
Whoa. John versus John. John versus Jimmy. Who wins?
All right. Yeah, that's my answer. And then Kyle would like to know, what is your dream studio setup? What would the layout be? What items specifically would you need to bring in to increase the already astounding quality of the content you produce?
You know, as someone who is currently coming through as not astounding quality, that it's really, I thank you for that. Your question sounds awfully sus.
I'm like scared to answer.
Okay, so if I'm talking about dream end game, okay? JumperScape Studios. It's our own maybe warehouse. And we just have a bunch of studios in it. Think of like Rooster Teeth, but we did it better and right. Lots of studios everywhere. Just lots of places, not just for us, but we can like rent out the studios for other creators to use them, because that's the whole point of JumperScape. That it's not just to make content ourselves, it's to help other people jumpstart their career. So, somebody, Joe Schmo over here wants to make a podcast. Great. We have a set for you that you can mess with, that you can do whatever you want, put whatever set stuff you want in there. Just make the show. Make sure you got somebody there to help you out if you need it, and then make your show, that sort of thing. That would mean like a lot of Shure SF7Bs. That would mean a much better podcast deck than the Rodecaster Pro 2. That would mean more analog tech. That would mean some soundboards. That would mean some sound booths. That would mean my own Jamie to pull stuff up when I need it. That would mean a TV, multiple of them, one of them to hang on the wall so I can make the current studio look like we're in space.
This guy wants a multi-million-dollar studio right now, Kyle. Get on it.
Yeah, if you could just do that for me, that'd be great. My email is there. You can just access it.
Yeah. Anyway, I more Slim Jims would be cool. We're starting to run low.
Yeah.
Already?
Just generally, to anyone out there, if you send in snacks to us, we will greatly appreciate it.
Gotten through about a third of them.
That is true. We'll always eat snacks while on the show.
But anyway, I know I said 3 more, but the next one is 4 questions, so I'm actually just gonna end it there. We'll get it next week.
Awesome.
Sorry, buddy, who is next up. You know, if you're keeping track, you're probably like, oh, damn it. But that's all the time we have today, folks. Once again, go to discord.gg/JumperScape. If you want to talk to us, do Q&A and all that. What?
Oh.
I thought you were trying to like tell me something like I missed something. Like,
I was going to say something, then I gave up.
oh, okay.
I gotta say, it is really fun to have been here to listen to the show externally. I think it's actually been a educational experience to know what is so entertaining about listening to this show. We're hilarious.
Yeah, whatever. You can go to if you want to greenlight shows, you go to ko-fi/JumperScape as well. Well, .com/JumperScape. And if you want to support the show on a more regular basis and get a lot of cool things that I think we highlighted earlier in this episode, maybe it was last week, I don't remember. You can go to patreon.com/JumperScape. Thank you so much for joining us once again on The Library.
Next week, we're talking about Halo Wars.
Next week, we're talking about Halo Wars.
The Library was produced and published by JumperScape Audio. Funding was provided by our fantastic patrons on Patreon. If you enjoy the show and wish to support JumperScape's future projects or get some sweet benefits, join our Patreon at patreon.com/JumperScape or become part of this truly special community at discord.gg/JumperScape. Thank you for your listenership, and we hope you enjoyed.